So I grew up trying to prove myself, constantly made a lot of mistakes, like most humans. But I also got to the point where I was working 3 jobs while I was going to college at a small university and trying to make ends meet. And I got very, very ill. So I don't know if you want to go into that right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
no,
story.
I like that. Yeah, yeah. Tell us about it.
Okay. So the story I had been telling myself up until that moment was just, I've got to push harder, I've got to be better in order to be worthy, to be worth something on the planet. And I developed some fissures and ulcers in my colon. So I was literally through stress eating myself from the inside out.
Wow.
And I got very ill. I lost 30 pounds in about 3 days, and I didn't have that much to lose at the time either.
How old were
And
you
I just,
then, Bridget?
I was just in my early 20s, so I was
Just
about not quite 21.
such an important period in your life, right?
Hmm. Very formative. And so I went to see my mother, and she took one look at me, and she's, we're taking you straight to the doctor. When
Yeah.
I got there, I collapsed. And fortunately, it was right next door to the hospital. So they took me in, they did emergency surgery, and they found sepsis. Like my body was just full of infection. And so they pumped that all out. They put me on 6 or 7 different intravenous antibiotics because I was so emaciated I couldn't have, a normal IV. And so they put it in what's called subclavian near my heart, and they put me on all these antibiotics, and then they expected me to get well. But what they
You were
didn't know
lucky
is
to
I was,
be alive.
yeah,
You know, the way it
yeah.
sounds to me, my God. So then what happened? You then did, what did they do then? So they help you
Yeah,
to stabilize you,
they tried to, but they didn't
right?
know that one of the antibiotics they were giving me I was allergic to. Never had it
Oof,
before, but it was killing me. So instead of
oof,
getting better, I kept spiking really high temperatures. They were
oof.
worried about, brain damage, whatever else could come with it. And my mom finally went home, and I was listening to 2 nurses outside in the corridor, and they said, you know what? I think we better call her mom to come back in here because she's just not going to make it until morning. So here I
Oof.
am, this young girl, you know,
In
thinking
the
my whole life is ahead of me,
prime of your life, right?
prime of my life, and I'm recognizing that I'm not going to be here. And
Did
and I
you realize that it was
Yeah,
at
when I
the
when I heard
edge?
those nurses, I was like, "Oh my goodness." And I had a roommate in the hospital, and she even said, "You know you're dying, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." And I was just so sad.